Hi guys and welcome back to ONJ Gaming and with me Ollie, and today we are doing another Yu-Gi-Oh character deck, but in this video we're doing something special. We're doing two decks, and the reason why we're doing two decks is because we're doing the Paradox Brothers deck. That's right, the Paradox Brothers. So if you don't remember them or you don't know them, they were a tag team duo and went up against Yugi and Joey and Jaden and Cyrus in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. They worked together, combining their decks into one. So in this video I'll be showing you Para's deck and Dox's deck separately, and then at the end of the video I'll be showing you the deck combined. It's just in case you want to make with your friend, have a tag team, so you can use Para and Dox, or you can just have the whole deck into one. So should we start off with Para's deck? So before we get into it, I've got to say this. I have looked at the anime and the manga. I've done my research to complete all these decks as good as possible, as complete as possible from the anime and manga. So I have duplicated some cards and I have added some cards because we don't know their complete decks fully. So shall we start with his first card is Gate Guardian. So the main card in their deck, Gate Guardian. Next we've got Sanga of the Thunder, and in Dox's deck we've got Kazjin in Dox's deck. That's why I put it here in the side deck here. Next we've got Sujijin. I'm sorry if I'm saying these names wrong, but we've got that, and all three of them cards go into Gate Guardian to summon Gate Guardian. Next we've got Shadow Ghoul, was pretty cool. Next we've got Wall Shadow. A interesting fact about Wall Shadow, that Wall Shadow was actually a fusion in the anime series. I think it was a fusion between Shadow Ghoul and Labyrinth Wall, I think. Might be wrong, comment down below. Next we've got a Monster Tamer. Next we've got, I've added two of these, but he only had one, the Wicked Worm Beast. I've added two. Next we've got Jorai Gombo. I'm sorry if I said that name wrong. I'm not very good, again, I will say, I'm not very good with the names. But I've added two. He only had one, but I have added two in his deck. Next we've got Labyrinth Wall. If I can remember correctly, I think Labyrinth was already like there. But yeah, we've got Labyrinth Wall, and I've added two of those in this deck. Next we've got a Magical Labyrinth to equipped with Magic Wall to summon Wall Shadow here, but in the anime I think it was a little bit different. It was equipped to that, but it did something different. Next we've got Remove Trap. We've got Monster Reborn. Ignore the one bit, that's our rules now. He had Tribute Joel in Yu-Gi-Oh! Dole in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I've added two of those. Next we've got Judgment of Anubis. I've added, again, he only had one, and I've added two. And basically that's his deck. All the other cards you see are added. There's one more. No, yeah, that's basically his deck. So his deck was basically this. So I've had to add some. So I've added Guardian of the Labyrinth because it makes sense. We've got two of those. And all these cards I put in there from 2002. I didn't add any new cards. I added cards that only were released in 2002. So I've added two Man Eater Bugs. Reason why I think that would suit them really cool. A little trap thing. And they need monsters in the graveyard really for Shadow Ghoul. So I think that's really cool. We've got Sangan. I've added two Sangans to help summon the lower monsters. Next we've added another Guardian card, Guardian of the Throne Room. I've only put it in there because it has Guardian in the name. But otherwise, yes, it's a machine. It probably doesn't fit the theme, but I've added Guardian. Next I've got Giga Tech Wolf and Cannon Soldier. And the reason why I've added them, I'll go into I'll explain more about these as well in Doc's deck. But Doc has this card here, Labyrinth Tank. So Labyrinth Tank is not a fusion in the anime, but it's a fusion in real life. So that's why it's here. I've added them because Doc has them. And I thought I'll add them here as well. Now the spells we've got final. I've added a Final Destiny. That's actually in Doc's deck, but I'll go through that in a minute. We've got 2 Sword and Shields because I think that is brilliant for like Labyrinth Wall, Wall Shadow and that to get the defense switched. We've got a Swords of Armenian Light just for a stall so they can get Gate Guardian. Before I add Termostorus Fire, sorry if I said that wrong. I've added Polarization because of the fusion. Pot of Greed, yes it is banned, but back then it isn't. And if you're going to play with this deck, you aren't really going to play with the new ban list rules. If you are, you can always change this card out. Same with Heavy Storm. And then I've got Trap Hole and Mirror Force. So that is his deck. Comment below what you think of Para's deck. Tell me if I should have added some other cards to this deck or take away some cards. I would love to know, and I will try and make some edits in the future. So that's Para's deck. Shall we move on to Dox's deck? Right, let's look at Dox's deck here. But just before we get into it, I'll just quickly say again that I have completed this deck as complete as possible from the anime and manga. But I have duplicated some cards and I have added some cards just to let you guys know. So shall we get into this deck? So we've got Gate Guardian like in Para's deck. We've got Kajujin. So Doc has that and Para has the Sega of the Thunder. We've got Sujin again. What they make up Gate Guardian. I've got 2 Labyrinth Walls in this deck. We've got Dungeon and Worm, so that is a one what is actually in Doc's deck. We've got 2, he only has 1 but I've added 2, Joey Gummo, and he only had 1 Kaiser Seahorse but I've added 2. I'm very confused with Kaiser Seahorse because you don't really need it. His effect works only with Light Monster and he doesn't have a light, so yeah. So and then we've got Invigoration, and then we've got Yugioh. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. With Dark Design Agitator. So I'm sorry again. Sorry I said that wrong. Next we've got Fairy Meteor Crush. I've added that, and he only had 1, but Tribute Dole. Next we've got 2 Giga Tech Wolves. He didn't have these in the deck, and Cannon Soldier, 2 of those. He didn't have them in the deck because he had again Labyrinth Tank. Labyrinth Tank again in the anime was a normal monster, not a fusion, but the only way in real life to have that you need these. What really Giga Wolf and Cannon I don't think really work with that. Maybe the Cannon but not that personally. Next, I've added 2, so that's his deck here, so that is his deck, so I have now added 2 the Wicked Worm Beast from Para's deck, 2 Guardian of Labyrinth, 2 Guardian of Throne Room, 2 Man-Eater Bug, 2 Sangan, 2 Polarizations, a Monster Reborn, a Final Destiny, 2 Sword and Shields, Pot of Greed, Heavy Storm, Mirror Force and Judgment of Anubis. So that is Doc's deck, basically nearly the same as Para's deck, because I would assume they would really have the same type of deck really. Personally I would think they would have the same decks so they can help each other out. But yes, that is Doc's deck. So comment below what you think of this deck, and if you think I should have added some other cards, comment below. So shall we just now go on to the one deck, the Paradox Brothers Complete One deck. So we're on the Paradox Brothers deck. So this is both of their decks combined. So I'll combine both their decks into one deck where you guys can use it if you just want to use the one deck. So we've got Gate Guardian, We've got Sangan of the Thunder, Kaijujin, Sujin, Shadow Ghoul, Wall Shadow, Monster Tamer, Dragon Worm, Dungeon Worm, sorry, the Wicked Worm Beast. I've added 2 of those. There's only 1 in this of Gummo in this deck, and 1 Kaiser Seahorse, 1 Labyrinth Wall, 2 Guardian of the Labyrinths, 2 Guardian of the Throne Room, 1 Man-Eater Bug, 2 Sangan. We've got a 1 Gigatech Wolf and 1 Dragon Cannon for the fusion of Labyrinth tank. We've got 1 Magical Labyrinth. We've got Invigoration. We've got Waigaku. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Dark Designator. Fairy Meteor Crush. Remove Trap. Monster Reborn. Tribute Doll. Final Destiny. 2 Sword and Shields. Swords of Revealing Light, Polarization, Pot of Greed, Heavy Storm, Judgment of Anubis, Trap Hole, and Mirror Force. So that's the deck, both their decks combined. So you can actually play it if you want, just as a combined deck, or if you want to play with a friend, one of you can have Powers deck, and the other one can have Doc's deck. So you can work as a team. So that's the Paradox Brothers deck. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Comment below what you think, and if you want to download this deck, it is on our Patreon. The whole deck list is on our Patreon page, so yeah, it's on our Patreon. So Patreon members get to see the deck list. Anyway, you've been with me, Ollie, and we've just looked at some Yu-Gi-Oh! Character decks. The next Yu-Gi-Oh! Character decks will be next weekend, and tomorrow will be a Pokemon pack opening.